Man, I'll remember what it's like to be confused. Hi, friends, it's Adam, the crippled cannabis cowboy. Thanks for watching my belly aching video on being confused. Man, I remember those feelings quite dramatically, I guess. They're like very constant in my brain. And I do my best to deal with them. If you like what you see, subscribe to the channel and check out some more videos. I remember that exact moment or moments when kind of like the carpet was pulled from under my feet, and it marked the beginning of the end, or kind of like a countdown of things that went really bad. It was a sequence of events. In my case, I mean, in everybody's case, it's a sequence of bad events that drive you crazy. You can't stop thinking about them, and yeah, it drives you freaking crazy. I remember sitting on this floor. I was sitting Indian style. I was doing some kind of breathing meditation thing. I would do that very often. Finding me on a floor in some weird position was pretty common. I really loved the yoga. I really loved the meditation and kind of keeping to myself. And I remember my text message went off on my phone. I was sitting there with my dog. I read the text message, and it was my landlord talking about all the money that I've been putting into an account for him for rent. It suddenly disappeared. I remember that feeling. I was kind of like, what are you talking about? The weird part was he was angry. Understandable. I mean, I'd be angry too. But he gave me 2 weeks to get out. Like, he didn't even ask what happened, why, whatever. He was just like, dude, you got to be out of here in 2 weeks. Now, obviously that kind of added to this nasty negative thing. This is all after I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis. I like that word, multiple sclerosis, because I slur all the damn time. My verbal phone thing can't even recognize my voice anymore. I remember running it by my roommate, and he was like, oh yeah, we got scammed or whatever. And to each their own. I found out that was bullshit anyway, but it added to these events. It was kind of like a sequence of events that happened to me that made it made me get to the point where it's like, yo man, nobody loves me here, nothing's happening, everybody's fucking with me, or it really rubbed me the wrong way. Now it's some years later from my diagnosis, and I don't know where or what was true. When I was originally diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, I had a doctor tell me it was relapsing remitting and it's gonna be bad, but maybe I'll have these remissions where I feel okay, whatever. Then there was an eye specialist that I saw, and he was like, hey, I just want to let you know this is not R&R MS. You have PPMS, which is primary progressive multiple sclerosis. And I remember my mom was in the room with me, and even she heard it, and she was like, well, what are you talking about? And the doctor literally looked me in the eye and was like, hey, Adam, do as much as you can for you to enjoy right now. Do it right now. Now I know what he meant. If you are or you have some kind of progressive debilitating disease, my biggest recommendation is live it up. Live up your life. Do the things that you always wanted to do. Think about the things you always wanted to think about, because time is of the essence now. I've had several treatments for this multiple sclerosis, And to be honest with you, none of them worked. I've tried so many things. I actually have a little list of things I tried, of things that, I don't know, it's just a big list of stuff that did not work. And now I'm sitting in this like seat of what should I do. Now the weird thing is, like, I can't walk as it is. I have a hard time maneuvering. I can't hold things. I can't even walk a freaking cup of water to the place I sit. So when that happens to you, it shows you a lot of things that you aren't gonna like. Now, the DMT that I took, that means disease modifying treatment, I believe. It's called Ocrevus. It works for a lot of people. Man, that shit doesn't work for me. I said something several times to the doctors, to all my... No one believes me. So that's something that really hurts my heart, because it's like, hey, there's documents, everything's written on how this is not good for someone like me. Works for some people, but it doesn't work for others. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people that it doesn't work for. Now, I have a choice. Now, I went back on Ocrevus, and it was a very bad idea. I had warned them it was a bad idea. I mean, it's not like I say them like they're aliens or something. This is my doctor. In the midst of me getting sick, I had to move around. So I've had a few doctors in areas, and the one thing that I noticed is the doctor, he doesn't pay attention to what the other doctor wrote down or whatever. Everything is documented. The first time I took this treatment, I lost my job. I lost my ability to work. I lost my apartment. The second time I took this infusion, I lost the ability to walk normal. That's when the cane started, or walking stick. The third treatment, I lost the ability to drive. So when your ability to drive is taken from you, I've heard different things. People like, oh, well, when you walk, all your freedom is taken away. That's actually not true. When you lose the ability to drive, that's kind of like your last hurrah to freedom. I mean, I remember feeling like crap, but I could always drive somewhere and sit at a park and, chill out under a tree and let the sunlight hit me. That doesn't happen anymore because I lost my ability to drive. Now, the weird thing is, I remember I was training jiu-jitsu. I just left the gym. Someone from the gym was behind me, and I drove right off the road. I didn't get in a car crash. I didn't kill anybody, thank God. But I remember when I drove off the road, it happened so suddenly. And so, I didn't even know what the hell was going on. I just knew I couldn't drive anymore. Then I realized, yeah, Adam, you can't drive anymore. You're going to kill somebody. You're going to ruin somebody else's life. You're going to ruin a family. Therefore, I chose not to drive. I stopped driving. I came back to Connecticut. I'm hanging out. I mean, this a few years ago, but I went to the DMV and I turned in my license and I just got an ID card. Someone like me should not be driving a car. I can't even walk. If you have walking problems, driving a car is probably not very smart. Now, when you go disabled and you lose abilities, I just noticed this for myself. It might not happen to everybody, but I was blamed for shit, all kinds of shit. You're an easy scapegoat. You're like the handicapped dude. You're the guy that can't think right. So it's really easy to blame shit on me. I had a kid get choked unconscious in my class. It was blamed on me. That is harsh because I was on the mat. I was with another student on the other side of the mat, and there was somebody watching. Somebody was supposed to pay attention to these things. It's a big mess up. The problem was where it was blamed on me and blamed on others. It's kind of like, all right, you're not accepting responsibility for something that went wrong. Same thing when I heard with this sequence of events, when I was sitting in that room and I heard that all the money was scammed, or the money was taken and then hearing it was scammed. When those things happen and you find out that they're not true, and it takes time to kind of set in, it hurt a lot. These are people that I revered, that I had massive respect for, and they dissed me, man. They threw me under a bus. That the bus wasn't mine, it was somebody else's. Somebody else was driving that bus, and they ran right over my ass. That confusion, like I said before, it'll drive you freaking nuts. So be around people you love. Be around people that support you. You think about beautiful things. Get yourself a dog. I have a craft of growing plants. Get into passions and hobbies that help keep you happy. I mean, you have enough to keep you negative. You have a debilitating disease now. So life is changing, and it does not change pleasantly. What does all this mean for my future? Well, that's just it. I have no clue. So you got to sit there and kind of wonder what's going to happen. What's the outcome? Like I said, it'll drive you freaking bonkers. And the best thing that I can tell you to do is to get into those passionate things that make you passionate, that get you out of bed, that make you move. Who cares what it is? As long as you get up and you move every day, that is probably a help. That's the only thing that I can do. If it weren't for my dog and weren't for my craft of growing, I would be in bed. I am bedridden. I can't even walk. I should be in a wheelchair constantly. But it's, like I said, it depends on your life. It depends on other people you're around. Are they in wheelchairs? Are they able to take care of someone like you? Or what kind of boat are you in? Anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you found something you like, subscribe to the channel. Help a brother out. I've decided to get some words out there, because I'm not liking how people are treated, particularly like me. I didn't notice at first. I kind of knew, but I didn't notice. And it's like one of those things. You never really know until stuff starts happening to you.